Oh, I gotta send that to myself. What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? Hopefully, y'all are enjoying your Sunday evening, Sunday night. What's going on? I'm gonna just call you Doc because I don't want to mispronounce your name. What's going on, man? What is up? So we're gonna go over some tips I can share with y'all. I have a guest on, so you don't just hear it from me. You can hear it from one of my very successful clients in the e-commerce space. We're gonna go over some things that should be able to help you guys. So we're gonna wait for about 30, 60 seconds, and then we are going to jump on. All right. And if you guys have some other questions that you want answered, you can also drop those in the comments. In the meantime, before we get started to jump in, um, it won't just be a bunch of theory. I'm actually going to give you guys things that you can implement, softwares, tools, things that you can implement in real time to help you out. All right, so we're going to have a kind of a Q&A format. Let me see if we should be ready here any second. All right. All right, let's turn this real quick. Let me try it. We're gonna go over some Chat GPT as well. So there are some prompts you can use in Chat GPT that will literally cut your time down. I would say a quarter of the time that it would take for you to normally produce content, captions, ad strategies, content schedules, the whole nine. So I'm gonna share with you guys how you can actually get access to those prompts, and I'm gonna share with you a plugin that you can use that's going to help you even further with that. All right. Let's see.
Hey,
All
Flo.
right, we got it. We got it. Got the signal.
You got me?
Yep, you coming in now. You coming in.
Okay.
So everybody, I was just kind of giving you an introduction about 3 minutes ago. So this is one of my very successful clients. Stephanie runs Fashion Dolls Boutique out in Jacksonville, Florida. What, 3 years, 4 years now in the mall?
Yeah, going on 4 years.
4 years. So she's already done over 7 figures, has done multiple years with multiple 6 figures. So very successful e-commerce, and then also in store, actual brick and mortar store. So she has a lot of experience. And then she also has a background with business finance as well. So I wanted her to come in and share some insight also, as opposed to you guys just hearing me, share this information. So not only can she validate, but then add, some other sauce too that we're gonna go through tonight. But the purpose of this is to help you guys not only just understand how to make more money, get more sales, but also how to get more time back so that you're working smart and not just working on a bunch of things that are just busy work and not really getting you to your goals. So that's what we're gonna be doing tonight. So Steph, you wanna introduce yourself?
Absolutely. So, hey guys, how y'all doing? My name is Stephanie, and I am the CEO of Fashion House Boutique. I've been in business for 4 years. I started in my garage, actually in my home, and then into my garage. I met Coach Steve in Clubhouse back in the day, and he really took my business to the next level. And I'm super excited to be able to call him Coach. I am also a business coach myself. So I help with startup businesses because I used to be a VP for one of the biggest banks for over 15 years, helping businesses from $1 million to $10 million in sales. So with that experience, and of course with Coach help, I was able to, go on my own and build my brand to the level that it is currently. So I'm on e-commerce and, as he said, as brick and mortar as well. So that's just a little bit about me.
Absolutely. So what I wanted to do tonight is, I know there's a lot of questions you get. There's a lot of questions I get. Some of them are going to be the same questions. But I think, like, for a lot of people that's starting out, they have done all of maybe the preliminary stuff. Maybe they have an LLC. Maybe they went and started building their own website. They've done all of, like, the very fundamental steps of having a business, but maybe they haven't got their first sale yet. Or maybe they've only had 2 or 3 sales, and they're trying to figure out how to increase volume, right? So one of the things that I wanted to go over, and then I'll let you, piggyback on this, is the importance of, when you have a product, you believe in your product, you know the product works, but the importance of, like, social proof for that product, like having somebody to review it, to give you a testimonial for that product, because that's going to be critical. But when you don't have a lot of, when your business has not been around as long, the first thing people want to know is, like, hey, has somebody else tried this before? Like, has somebody else bought this, used this? Does it work for them? Because most people don't want to be the first person to try something. So they don't want to be like, I don't want to be the guinea pig for this product. Like, I want to see if somebody else is. And most of us are like that, right? Unless you just have a emergency product that you have to have. But one of the things I tell people is, if you, for example, if you ordered a bunch of inventory for your product, let's just say you ordered 100 units of your product, like, you have to understand, you should allocate maybe 5 to 6 units to finding people who have a good network, a good center of influence, that can review your product. You can give this to them and say, hey, I want to, share with you my product, give you my product, and I really just want your honest feedback. And if you could send me a testimony, if you could send me like a quick 20-second video on what you thought about the product, it would really mean a lot to me. If you do that 5 or 6 times, now you got, let's say, 6 short video testimonials, and you can use this over and over and over on your social media, in your email, on your Instagram, Facebook. And now when you show somebody something, you send them to a sales page, they can go down and look, oh, okay, this person said this was great for this. This person said it gave them a result in 30 days. So now when you send people something, they're much more likely to buy versus, a blank page that says, hey, this product is $59.99, click here to buy, right? So, I mean, if you want to share, like, because you have a ton of reviews as well, but how that makes a difference with you selling your products.
So yeah, definitely you want to get influencers, but you personally, you can be an influence too. Like me, when I first started out with my brand, I literally wore it everywhere. So a lot of people don't understand, like, you are your brand. So you may not be able to pay an influencer, but even if you get like some of your close friends, or even when your customers have posted reviews, repost those reviews from your customers as well. If you pack in an order, create content around that, showing that you're packing an order, thanking the customer for shopping with you, because people just want to see, like, especially when you first starting out, are you legit and you're not, a company that's going to take somebody money and then they don't get the product, because there's a lot of that going around. So you want to make sure that you don't have to always, if you don't have the money to pay an influencer, you are the influence, you are the brand. So, when you're packing order on time lapse and show that you're packing orders, going through inventory, talking about the products, posting every day, and just, educating your customers on why they should buy your product. A lot of people now are just selling. Like, oh, okay, click the link in the bio and buy this. No, what is the difference between your product and somebody else that's already out there? People got problems, you have solutions. So when you
Right.
are posting about your product, you want to talk about it, tell them why they should invest in your product, why they should buy your product, how can it help them, instead of just posting it and then telling somebody to click the link in the bio. Educate them on the process, especially in the beginning phase. And of course, you wearing your brand, or everywhere you go, you know, you put it on. If it's clothing, or if you're going somewhere public, have business cards and just pass them out. Because one thing that I realize, whenever I have my brand on, somebody always asks me about it. So I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this is mine. You can actually get it from here. Here's my card. Here's my Instagram, or whatever. So a lot of times, even by you wearing a branded shirt that have your business name on it, is also branding too, because people gonna be curious and I'm like, where is Fashion Dolls? Oh, it's in the Orange Park Mall, or whatever. So you have to be the marketer. You have to brand your company, especially the beginning phases, when you don't have a whole lot of money to invest in an influencer.
Yeah, and so, and I want to back up a little bit too, because what you said is important. So when you first start, you want to use other people to get their reviews, but when you first start, you don't have to use like a quote unquote influencer. You could literally use a coworker and say, hey, I'm gonna give you this, right? All I want you to do is just give me your honest feedback, record like a 10-second video on your phone, tell me what you thought, and that way you don't have to pay them. Now, they're not gonna post necessarily to their social media, but at least you have a video you can put somewhere and show somebody, hey, look, I have another person that has bought this before that have got results. And then once you start making more sales, then you can start looking at influencers where you can pay them a small amount to share it with their whole audience. So when you first start, and the first thing you want to do is just get feedback from people to where you don't have to pay. All you're doing is giving them product. So you don't have to do this 100 times. You just maybe want to do this with 5 or 6 people max. And then from there, you can work your way up. So that I'm glad you did bring it up, because a lot of people think I got to immediately sell, go and pay an influencer to do that. I mean, even if you were to do that, the problem is going to be that when that influencer says, hey, go look at my skincare line, and they go click to buy, they go to the sales page, it's still no reviews. It's still no testimonial. So it's still kind of like, I don't know about this. So the first thing you want to do is to get social proof, and let people know that, hey, I don't care if it's your auntie and she tried it and it worked. They don't know that's your auntie, so tell her, shoot you a video so she can keep the product. So that's very important to clear those two things up. So the second thing, so social proof, that will be the first thing. The second thing is, especially when you get started, if you have a physical product, a lot of times you have to be willing to take, even if it's 5 or 10 minute calls to explain to people what the product is, how it works before they buy. So let's just say you got a skincare kit and it's $50. And the person said, and you put a link in the bio that says, click here for your free 10-minute skincare consultation. In the beginning, you may have to do those, and people say, well, dang, I got to do it. I'm not getting paid for it. But what happens is, when you get them on the phone and say, yeah, all you got to do, put this on for 10 minutes when you wake up, put it on before you go to bed, make sure you shower, whatever the case may be. Once you do that, then they're more confident with buying it, because now they're buying it knowing, okay, now I know what to do. So when you start out, be willing to give a little bit of your time to those first maybe 50 or 100 customers to make sure that they go ahead and finish checking out.
Yeah, like when you did it. So the first thing before Coach even took me on as a client was gave me some homework, right? So I think he did it to kind of see, like, are you serious, right? So he's not just one to like take your money and then figure out the rest later. He actually gives you homework. So my process was to do exactly what he said. So he was like, okay, I need you to go ahead and do a 10-minute slot of consultations for free. And at first I'm like, for free? But he was like, yes, for free. So if you have a product or even a service, I highly recommend this way. So what you want to do is you can use Calendly, and you can go ahead and create a 10-minute free consultation slot. It could be either for your product, depending on what your product is, or it could be for your services if you provide a service. And literally when I did that, I was booked out for 2 months ahead of time. Like literally. I was booked every single day, Monday through Friday, the hours that I set for 2 months. And when I did those consultations for 10 minutes, every consultation that I had ended up getting a sale, because people didn't really understand, like, you can post, you can do a reel, you can, have it spelled out A through Z on the website sometimes, but there's some people that still don't get it or they don't understand. So they need someone to physically talk to break it down to them and say, hey, okay, this is what it is, this is how it works, and this is how you use it, or this is how whatever your service is. So for me, with my products, that's exactly what I did. And for 2 months, I was booked out. And at the end of every consultation, they bought something, because they're like, oh, okay, I get it now. So that also told me too, as the owner, how to break down my content even more, so that you don't have to do this forever, but especially in the beginning phase of your business, it also a good teaching tool for you to understand what your customers don't understand when it comes to your business. So I use that in a way for it to tell me, okay, well, they don't get how to measure, so you need to do a measuring video to show them. So you may not have to do this, like when I stop my consultations, the information is already out there. So like, oh, okay, I get it. So when I'm teaching, when I'm posting content, I'm always teaching, I'm always showing those same common questions, because almost everybody had the same question. So it was like, okay, great. So now that I did that, they purchased. So it was helping those curious customers become an actual customer. So
Right.
if you have a business and you have a service product, or if it's a service-based business or a product, it depends on what the product is. But if it's skincare, I highly recommend that, because some people don't understand if they have oily skin or dry skin, and some people do. So if you have a skincare product, you can do a free 10-minute, 5-minute, whatever you want to do, to help them figure out, okay, well, you have dry skin, so I would recommend this product. Or you have oily skin, so I recommend this product. And then by you knowing those curious questions from the people, you can actually create something on your website that can have those same questions. So when somebody else go on there, well, how do I know if I have oily skin or dry skin? That's why
Exactly.
videos now explaining short torso and long torso, how to measure which product is good for what, because of those questions. So those are people that are technically waiting to know the answer before they buy, because they're confused. So that's a great thing to do in your business.
Right. And so, like you said, two things happen when you use that method. When you do, let's just say 40 10-minute consultations over a period of time, what happens is you're going to start to know, oh, they ask the same 3 questions, 5 questions. So now you start jotting these down, and like you said, now I can go pre-record a video. I can put that on my website, or I can put that on my social media. And then when somebody DMs me, hey, how do I know to get this or this? It's like, hey, why don't you click here, watch the video? It explains what product goes for what type of person. And now you have that running on autopilot, right? So, and then another thing is, you also can have it to where when you start to grow, you can delegate this out if you have employees and teach them how to do these 5, 10-minute consultations with your potential customers, and tell them, hey, I need you to ask these questions and then give these recommendations. Because the good thing about a consultation to me is it's like the hottest lead you can get. Because it's telling you I'm interested, but I'm not sure either what to buy, or if I'm buying the right thing. Hey, I'm about to buy this, but I'm not sure if I need this one or this one. And so people don't like to kind of be left hanging in that situation. So you can either create this digital video, digital asset that can answer those questions. You can do that with Instagram too. If you guys don't already have it, I would download ManyChat, ManyChat, and you can build keywords where it says info, and then they click info, and then all these questions pop up about your business. I have a question about this. I have a question about shipping. I have a question about whatever exchange, whatever it is. You can have this real time. So now,
Mm-hmm.
when you're building this, you know, oh, I know what these people ask. Now I know how to give them something they can go watch. And then I also know in the sales copy, and this is what I'm about to get into next, I know what to put in the sales copy to influence them to want to buy this, right? So I know what a lot of people get stuck on when you're starting this. Okay, I have this page. I'm selling, we'll just say, what's a good product we can use? I'm trying not to stay on the skincare example. Um, we'll call it makeup brushes. Let's say you're selling makeup brushes. So they have the product on the sales page. They have all of what they call specs. Oh, it's 100% cotton, and all of these things is made out of, which is fine. But the actual product description and the copy is where most people struggle. Either they don't know what to put, or they're putting things that don't convert. So one of the things you can do to get rid of that whole thing is, if you all don't have it already, I recommend you download ChatGPT, because what you can do in ChatGPT is you can tell it what your product is and tell it, write me a sales page description for my product. My product is blank, and it'll actually go down there and write a sales page description for you. It'll do the hard work for you. Then you can read through it, and you can keep the template. Maybe you might change a few words, but now you can go do this with all 5 or 6 of your products, instead of you sitting there on Microsoft Word or Google Docs trying to figure out, what do I write to persuade them to buy?
Right.
Right. So that's a common thing that I see, especially if they're doing their own websites. It's like, I don't know what to put on a sales page, or it's just blank, right? You just say $59.99, and there's no specs or there's no real sales copy. It's just a buy now button. That's very hard to convert. You know what I mean? Because people don't really, they're trying to make a decision at that point when they get that far down the process.
Yeah, I definitely agree. 100%. ChatGPT is like super easy right now.
And you can get it on your phone too. So even if you don't get the advanced, you can just get the basic version of it. For what we're doing on e-commerce, so what you're doing on e-commerce is you're going to ask it what you're having trouble with. So a lot of times people will have, product description is like number one thing people have trouble with. The other thing is people will have trouble with like the email. So like certain emails that go out, I know you're going to get a default email for like a thank you, confirm what people purchased. But what about, yeah, they purchased a product for you one time, but what if you want to like Steph said, educate them, and you want to send them down like 5 or 6 emails educating them about the product and whatever industry the product is in? You can have ChatGPT write out 5, 6 emails for you and say, hey, write me a 6 email sequence talking about the importance of, clean, skincare and makeup. And you can put that along with your makeup brushes. And now people are going to start opening your emails, not because they know you're trying to sell something, because they feel like you might actually have some gems in there.
Correct.
So now your open rate starts to open. People go, oh, okay. Or they might go, oh, this is how she used it today. This is what I used yesterday when I went XYZ place, right? You can send these emails out that don't have like a direct call to action. It's just like, check this out. So then when you do send the promos out, the discounts out, people open them because they don't think it's like, oh, this is just spam. So I would definitely recommend you guys using Chat. Those are 2 things I would definitely use for ChatGPT. It's easy to do. And you can do it in 10, 15 minutes.
It helps you with the titles too. If you confuse like what title to use or what's a catchy title to get people's attention, you can ask GPT for like 10 options, and then you can choose whichever one works for you.
Exactly. So, and then one of the things you do too really well is doing the lives. So not only doing the lives, but understanding like what am I gonna make my live Instagram or TikTok live about? Like, what do I want to talk about?
Mm-hmm.
So, being intentional about that versus like, hey, sometimes you might just do a day in the life, but sometimes you might do, for you, it might be sizing, how to pick the correct size product. You might do a live on that. You might put something like, how to get the best result by choosing the right size, right? So then people gonna log on knowing like, oh, I was already trying to figure out, did I get the right size, the wrong size, or what size I should get? And that's a concern, so you can just do these live sessions based on what people kind of have questions on.
You can even do a poll. So like you can put in your stories, like what should I talk about next? Or, if you feel like, let's say you have a product, but you got other questions or concerns, you can ask them of this or that, a poll. And then when you go live, you know what to talk about, or you'll answer some of those common questions in the live that people always have, confusion about. So that's another way too of, getting attraction is doing polls in your story.
Exactly. So, I mean, being very smart about, because it's very tempting to go, this is where a lot of people can give up or get frustrated, is they start posting or they start doing lives or they start building websites, and then it's like nothing's happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're doing work, like they're working hard, but it's like it's not intentional or smart work. So another thing, if some of you guys are kind of jotting notes down, but another thing that I would say is right up there with one of the first things you have to do is you need to understand who is in your industry and niche and selling at least something similar to what you're selling at a high level. Because if you go look at what they're doing, you'll see who the audience is. Like, you'll see how they talk to the audience. You'll see like what they say on sales page. If it were me, I would even go to their website. I would sign up for the newsletter just to see what type of emails they send out. And then I think, oh, okay, I see what they're doing. So it's not that I want to just copy paste what they're doing, but I can see their strategy by doing that versus just kind of guessing what you want to do, right?
Copy the right cat. At least they honestly, like, people may look at it as copying, but I don't. They are already in business. They're successful at whatever they're doing. So that means that they're doing something right. So you can just tweak it or adjust it to your business. You don't have to do the exact same thing as them, but they're showing you how it's done. Like, that's the blueprint. So all you have to do is kind of just go and see, okay, well, let me see how this company is doing it. What are they doing? You should be following the same footsteps because they're doing something right. They're $1 million company, $1 billion company. So you should operate as one. That's why I always tell people, like, I don't get how you set up your business, but you're not trademarked. That means you're not protected. That means you don't own it. You're leasing your company. If you look at all these other successful companies out there, every one of them have a trademark. So why don't you? So you can't keep thinking as a small business. So you're not going to have a website. You're not going to have a trademark. You're not going to be doing certain things because you think you're a small business. You have to get out of the mentality and operate as a business, in period.
Exactly.
Small, so cool, but you have to act as a big business. You have to do the things big businesses do.
Right. And so, and I'm going to kind of keep going back to ChatGPT because I'm trying to emphasize to people what you can get done when you're in the beginning phases in terms of what you're talking about, establishing yourself as a business. Let's say you don't know the process of going to get a trademark. You can literally type that in. You can say, hey, what is the step-by-step process for trademarking my business on my hair business? And it'll list out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go to your local whatever, right? And now you have a blueprint. You can say, okay, now I just go through this and do and follow these steps versus you trying to Google, then you trying to go here, because it's pulling all of this information in one place for you, right? And now you can save this and say, okay, now I got a list for trademarking, okay? Now, if I could say, what if I want to know about business funding or whatever, credit? I can do the same thing. I can get a general outline of here's what I need to do next. Now, you might still need a little bit of coaching along the way, but at
You
least
definitely
now,
gonna need mentorship. You definitely gonna need a coach.
yeah,
Like
you're going to need that.
it's cool to pull stuff off of Google and YouTube, but having someone or learning from someone that already did it is the best way. Like that's the best, and because you can pull the information, but then you don't know what to do with it or how to use it. So
Exactly.
me personally, I would rather invest in a coach like I did and have them show me the way, because a lot of times people do stuff like get it from the internet or on YouTube or whatever, and they end up spending money that they didn't even have to spend because they thought that that was the right way to go. So, you know, it's two ways to that. Yes, you want to help yourself at the same time, but you're also going to have to invest in yourself, meaning invest in your business to be able to go to the next level. So, you know, especially in the startup phase, I highly recommend you to get someone that already been there, done that, you know, is already in the business and doing really well for themselves to help you, because now they're going to tell you, okay, don't do that, because when I did it, I wasted money, wasted time, you know, so let me show you a better way to do it versus no way at all. Like, oh, don't do that. But then, okay, well, how do you do it? So, you know, you definitely want to make sure that you definitely take that course of action, because there's a lot of businesses out there right now that are not protected, doesn't have any systems, doesn't have no type of operational, don't even have SOPs, and they're missing things in their business that they should have. So it's like they're going backwards to fix it. And it's cool, but had you know, invested the time to really do it the right way at the beginning, you wouldn't be wasting time spending unnecessary money going back to fix something.
Yeah, you definitely gonna be wasting time. And then the other thing is you also kind of want to know like what, even when you invest, you need to know like what do I need to get mentoring or coaching on, because a lot of times if you don't have any idea, you go out and buy something or buy some book on something that you think that you need, but it's like you don't need that right now, or it's too early for that, right? So a lot of times, like, we'll get people that will schedule or attempt to schedule a call, and let's just say they've been in business a month and a half, and let's just say they only have 5 sales. Even if they say, hey, I can pay you right now and let's go, like, help me out. I want to be a client. I want to, you know, if from an agency perspective, if we look at that, and I would be like, it's not, for me to sell you this, it's not going to go the way that you think it's going to go, because you're missing too many pieces. Like, you don't have any data. You haven't gone through the product research and development. You're not even structured like what you're saying as a business correctly. So even if I were to do that, it would still be minimum 3-4 months before you even started seeing any results, because you're not at the point where you're ready for that. So you need the business coaching or mentorship program, for somebody can say, first do this before you start worrying about that. And I always tell people this, and a lot of people who run agencies, they don't like to say this, but I believe everybody should have a working knowledge of how Facebook ads work, Google ads work, just how they work. You don't have to be an expert, because if you can't even read your stats, then an agency can just charge you and tell you whatever, because you don't know what you're looking at. So they can say, okay, I'm gonna charge you whatever. I'm gonna charge you $5K a month, and then it goes back and you say, well, okay, well, I'm making $15K. But if you don't know how to track that, that money might be coming from something that has nothing to do with the ads. Right. So it's just the 5,000 is not, it's unnecessary. So you want to have a working knowledge of how these things work. So when they send you a report, you can look at it and go, oh, okay, this is cool, versus looking at it and not knowing what you're looking at. Right. So you want to learn the basics of how these things work in your business. And even as an owner, you're not going to be eventually you're not going to be doing everything in your business, But if you don't, if there's a section,
In the
like
beginning, you
you
will. In the
will.
beginning,
But
you will.
if you don't know, if you don't go, hey, this bookkeeping or accounting, you don't even know the basics of what you're looking at, and then
Right.
you delegate it out to somebody that you find and hire, and they start doing the books, they can skim on you. You wouldn't even know it.
Right.
Especially if you're making money. Especially
Mm-hmm.
when you start making money. So I definitely would say you want to take this thing in stages and look at it in the long run and say invest in the knowledge of being a business owner and owning a brand, not just I just want to buy something to make a sale real quick.
Right. Like you gotta have it. Like I tell my people, turn your passion into a profit. So whatever it is that you love, turn that into a profit. But organize your business as a business and not, small business or a side hustle. Like if this is something that you're saying, okay, I'm gonna start this and I'm gonna do this for like the next 10 years, 20 years, or I'm gonna grow this business for like the next 10, 20 years. Operate in the beginning stages as a legit business. That's the best advice I can give you, because that way you actually fall in love with it more, because you're going to see the profits of it, the benefits of, the businesses. This is actually working. Like, this is really, I don't have to go work for nobody again. Like, this is my life. And that was me. So I can only speak from my experience. You know what I mean? I was working in corporate. I love what I did. But when I started making money in my own business and my time, I was like, well, shit. Now, like, okay, like this really works. So, definitely, make sure that you structure, make sure you organize, make sure you run your business the legit way, because it's only going to benefit you in the long run.
Right. Exactly. So, getting out of there, and some people may still, because I came from that, like the 9 to 5. I didn't start my business full time till 2016. So it's a mindset shift in understanding, like, regardless of where you get with your business, you have to understand that you have to constantly say, I need to invest in learning what I don't know yet. Because from $0 to $10,000 a month, it's a lot that you don't know. Then from
Correct.
10, what it takes to get from 10 to 50, it's a different set of things that you don't know. And then from 50 to 100, it's a different. So you're always saying, okay, now it's time for me to understand and learn what I need to go here. If I choose to take my business here, I'm going to have to learn some new information. I'm going to have to connect with some new people, right? So that's very important. So the other things I want to bring up, we talked about ChatGPT and not just using it to be lazy. I'm saying using it as, because a lot of people will sit there and spend an hour, 2 hours trying to come up with Instagram captions and what they're going to post. And you don't have to do that. You can use tools like this to cut that time in half, to where you say, hey, I need 15 to 20 topic ideas, generate these for me. And now you can go in there and go, hey, I can make videos for these. I can go knock out 10, 15 videos for these this week. And I got my half of the month of content done, right? So you want to leverage it in that way. And you want to be spending your time on the things that produce income for you. So that's what we talked about. Like, if you're going to do free calls, that should be the most important time, because now, if I do these right, I get a sale and I get feedback, right? And I want you guys to remember, a sale, if you look at a sale as just whatever, $100 or whatever, you shortchanging yourself. You got to look at a sale as the lifetime value of a customer. If you have a customer and you give them a good result, they'll come back, right? So you want to give them good customer service. You don't just want to be transactional. You want to give them a good product. You want to send something and make sure that they understand how to use the product, and keep them in your database. So when you have other promos for different products, right? So you got to think about, I would rather them spend $100 with me 20 times over the next 3 years than just $100 today. So, but if you guys have questions too, please put them in the comments if you have specific questions. But I'm gonna go back to, I know some of you all, have you shared with them your mentorship?
Well, on my live, yes, but
Okay.
I have my mentorship coming up on August 7th. So if anyone is interested, it's for startup companies or companies that's been in business from 0 to up to 3 years. Some people are actually more than that, been in business for like longer than that and have not made six figures. The class is for you. So it's a 4-week mentorship program, and I'm going to help you if you've not started your business yet, understand how to start your business and the correct way to start your business. And if you've been in business before, or you're already in business, but you have not made six figures and you're pushing like year 2, year 3. Some people, I have a girl, she's been 4 years in business and have not made six figures. The class is definitely for you because it is possible to make six figures at least a minimum a year in your business.
Absolutely. And what I'm going to do too, so I have a program, a digital program called Ecom Revenue Mastery. It's normally $497. If you guys are on here for live, I'm going to drop the price down to $97 for 24 hours. So if anybody is serious about doing it, go ahead and grab it now because I'm going to change the price back by the end of tomorrow night. So that's going to cover Facebook ads, Google ads, how to utilize ChatGPT in your business, how to upload to YouTube to get traffic. All of these basic things that you're going to need to know from an online perspective in building your brand as over time, it's all going to be there. You get lifetime access to it, and you also get access to the private group. So if anybody's interested in that, you can either DM me, just say info, or you can click the link in my bio. It'll be there as well underneath Ecom Revenue Mastery. So, but I just wanted to throw that out there. And then the last thing I wanted to go over real quick, because I know it's getting late for some of us. I'm in Central, but I know people are on Eastern, and it's getting a little bit late. But the other thing I wanted to emphasize is going back to like your time management. You talked about income producing activities, right? So you also need to look at what drives your revenue for you. So let's just say, for example, when you post on Facebook, you get the most comments, you get the most people that give you feedback. Then now you have to say, well, I need to focus 80% of my time on Facebook because for some reason they're responding to that versus going, well, I got to do Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok, and you're trying to post across all these platforms and your energy is divided versus, hey, I got a lot of people that's interested on this one platform. Let me double down on this one, get as many people as I can out, and then slowly build to each platform. Because I see a lot of people, they want to post on 5 platforms at a time. And it's like, unless you just automatically post it, but even then, it depends on the platform. But a lot of times it's better to just drill down on that one platform that's really working for you until it stops working, and then you go to another platform and you drill down on the one that's working for you there. So there's no need to, especially when you're doing organic content where you're posting, it's not an ad. There's no need for you to spend another hour trying to figure out, well, if I'm gonna post something on TikTok, I gotta post a different one on Facebook, and then I gotta figure out something different for Twitter. It's too much, and it's not really driving revenue. So I would honestly say focus on one platform first and get as much as you can out of that platform, as much feedback and sales as you can out of that platform. Do you want to add to that?
I mean, they can post the same reel on all platforms. They don't have to create new content for Twitter and Instagram, and now they have Thread and YouTube. Like for me, I post one reel on all platforms. I added a short on YouTube, I add on TikTok, I add on Instagram. Instagram adds it automatically on Facebook, so you don't have to do that. So I would say if you're gonna do that, especially if you just starting out, until you get used to posting. If you want to post different content, I mean, you really don't have to, because there's people that are on TikTok that are not on Instagram that's not gonna see it, so it's new to them. You can just do that one video and just post it to all platforms.
Right, as opposed to trying to come up with something different for each platform. Because I see that a lot of times, and it's like you said, just because you post it on Instagram, that doesn't mean you got the same people on YouTube and the same people. You can post that you can cross post it, meaning you can get a software. There's a software called repurpose.io. And if you get that software, you can post on one platform. It'll keep posting it to all your other, it'll be the same thing, but it'll post to all the other platforms. So now you don't even have to go through the trouble of logging in to all these platforms. You post on one and then go back and post on all the other platforms in which can fit. Sometimes it won't fit, so it'll skip that one. So yeah, so be smart. Again, just being smart. Does anybody have questions in here? I want to make sure I answer questions. I didn't see anything. If y'all have questions, just drop them below before we wrap this
Or
up.
if there's any business owner that have challenges and you want to come on and ask questions, we could probably do that for like the next 5 minutes. This is literally free information. This is us helping you with your business so that you can get to the next level. Like, I don't know about y'all, but it's a new season for me. I'm not comfortable where I'm at. I need to get uncomfortable. I'm always putting myself in different positions to be able to do more in my business. You know, you never want to get comfortable doing the same thing, doing the same numbers, running the same business the same way. You're going to have to make changes. You're going to grow. And the only way you're going to do that is if you get uncomfortable. So I know some people are not comfortable, you know, asking publicly for help or asking questions. But if someone is doing better than you, I would want to know what they're doing and how they're doing it so I can also grow my brand as well. So don't be shy, and there's no stupid question, because if you don't know, you don't know.
Right.
So,
and more importantly, if somebody has already made the mistakes that you may make, you want to make sure that you avoid that. So definitely ask questions while you have access, because I mean, I know for sure, Stephanie, your time is not free. So even
it's
you
not
getting on here, me getting my time is for sure not free.
right.
So we're here to help you guys. It's a Sunday night. Neither one of us have to be here, but we wanted to give this information back because we have been in your shoes. I know I have been in
Definitely.
your shoes before, where I just needed to know go left or go right, go up or go down. So that's what we want to do for you. So, and even with your mentorship, Stephanie, and I mentioned I have a program out. I'm discounting that specifically for people who say, "Hey, I'm interested. I'll put the work in. I just need, something that can help." So yeah,
Right.
so that's the whole point of this. I'm gonna save this live too as well. Let's see, do we have any questions? Okay, we don't have any questions, so we must have a bunch of rich people in here
Right.
tonight.
Y'all need our help.
Y'all should see me when I go play. I have all the questions. You would think I just
Right. I want to know I'm going to ask questions, especially with someone that you got to pay to talk to. I'm asking questions. If they come alive offering their help, you definitely want to take advantage of it. Unless you're just, here for entertainment purposes. It's cool, but hopefully we give you some type of motivation to do more for yourself.
Yep. So make sure you guys, if you're not already, make sure you follow Stephanie on here. Yeah, and if it's ladies in here, definitely look at the product. She got a whole boutique and a whole waist training, supplies, accessories, the whole nine. And it's literally some of the best, if not the best in the game. So ladies, make sure you check that out as well. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna go ahead and save this. Like I said, if you guys are interested in that course, you want the discounted rate, just DM me. Just put info. I'll know what you're talking about. And there's some more info in the link in my bio. And make sure if you following Stephanie already, she'll give you more information about her 4-week mentorship as well. I personally think you should get both at the price it's at. But of course, I'm biased. So
That's a fact.
I appreciate you jumping on, Steph. Did you have anything else?
No, that's it. I feel like we gave him some good tips. the 2 apps that they need to use that can help them with their businesses, posting. I know Miss Tanya says she got notes, so that's definitely good. Definitely take notes, but not only take notes, execute.
Yes.
You know, use information that we just told you.
Execute, guys, and you know, execute on this information in this video. Those of you that do get the program, there's about 28 short videos in the program, and they're all executing. They're all screen share. You can follow them all, see exactly what's going on, and you can execute with those as well. So they were specifically created for you not to be watching me talk for 5 minutes and actually doing something. So, all right, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and end the live. Thank you, Stephanie, for jumping on.
You're
I
welcome,
appreciate
Coach.
y'all. And
You're welcome. Good
I
night,
hope y'all
y'all.
have a great the rest of your Sunday night and a great week upcoming.